so that's about that, and this is called the force step. Now as you can see, this is actually colored red. That's because this is something that you are not supposed to do. You are not supposed to do. For example, there might be a class in which you are not supposed to get into, all right, but still you want to do it, then inside that you will use this one. All right, so that's about that. Now let's just talk about something else also here. Not this, I will be talking about this one later. All right, I will be talking in this video also, but we are going to talk about this a few minutes later. All right, okay. Now the next thing that we should do is this. Now let me clarify what we have learned so far. We have learned that this is the frames pane where all the classes and methods are here. This is the variables pane where all the variables are here, and I also learned that variables are not only these, there are other kinds of variables also. And this is the watches pane in which we set the variables that we want to keep an eye on. For example, when we go to some other method, then if we want to keep track of these variables, what's going on with these variables, then we set the watches pane in this section here. All right, and we also talked about a step over, a step into, force a step into, and force a step a step out of. All right, so that's that. Now the next thing that you want to see is this one. See, if you press on this, then it brings out this section here. And what is this? You see, for example, if I actually delete this one, you know, then what will happen is this. Now let me just show you. See, if I press it, deselect it, then what will happen is that it will be muted. That is, it will not be active anymore. When I do this, it will be enabled. When I do this, it will be disabled. Or when I do this, it will be enabled. When I do this, it will be disabled. Now in this section here, there are a lot of options here. All right, you can select it, deselect it from this section, and you can also select and deselect Java exception breakpoints in these sections here. All right, okay. Now let me show you something else also. What's going on is this. As you can see, there are a lot of settings here, right? And we actually change these settings according to our need. Now for example, one of the settings that we use is this condition setting. Now exactly what this is, let me clarify. When, for example, this is the same condition, by the way, you can just right click here and it will come, or you can come here and select the one and then set the condition here. So let's just right click it here. And what is this condition doing here is this. Let's say 2 is equal to 2. All right, and we are going done, and we are going to run our Android application. And we are going to give it a value like that, and it comes and it does a stop here at this breakpoint. All right, now this basically what happens is this condition, this breakpoint will the program will stop at this breakpoint if and only if this condition is true. Now for example, if we actually change the condition and give it, for example, 3, now 2 is not actually equal to 3, right? So what's going on is this. If we run the Android application this time, it's not going to stop at this breakpoint. Let me show you. 2, 3, and we press it, and the Android application did not stop at this point. That's because the condition that we gave here is not true. So that's what happened in this section. Now you might be so this is one thing. Now another thing that you want to know is this. Now you might be wondering, why do we need this section, select and deselect section? I mean, why do we need this? We can actually simply delete this one, you know, like that. Well, the thing is this: when you delete a breakpoint like that, all the settings that you create in this section here will be removed. And you can't get them back. For example, when if we create another breakpoint here, it's gone, right? So it's not always a good idea to completely destroy it. Sometimes it's a good idea to mute it. Now let's say you had more than one. All right, then in that case, if you want to break all of them together, then just do this mute breakpoints, and it will mute all of your breakpoints, disable all of your breakpoints. All right, and by the way, if you want to like if you want to disable it, if you want a shortcut to disable it, then like this one also. All right, this will also disable it. So that's that. Now let me show you something else. When you press this one, by the way, it shows a cross button, as you if you can see. Now what happens is this is not an executable line. That is, there is nothing to execute in this line. If you can see, there is something to do here, there is something to do here, in all of these lines there is something to do, but this is just, in this section this is just index, and you are not even initializing anything. This is just index, that's it. So there is nothing to execute in this section. So let me show you exactly what happens. मैं दिल का दर्जी हूँ. As you can see, it doesn't stop here. Now that's because this is not an executable line. Or for example, if you press it here, and let me show you something else. As you can see, it doesn't also stop here. Now that's also because this is not exactly a executable line where you should do something. All right, so that's about that. And it's not exactly a line where you have this kind of variable and you should do something in that case. This is just the beginning of a code. So that's about that. All right, so that's about that. And is there anything else? Oh, all right, okay, there is this another thing that I want to show you here in this case, which is this. If you have a program running, like not this one, let's just say if you had a normal code running like this, if you had a normal code like this one, and then if you wanted to attach like this code is already running right now, if you want to turn it into a debugging one, then you should press this one, and then it will show you the running emulator, and you just press OK, and the debugging console will be here, and then everything will be just like before. So that's about that. So I hope you are having a good day. I hope this is something that you learned and you are having fun. Have fun and have a good life. Take care.